Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Colin Young, showing off Ryu by Kim Satsu, published by Moonster Games, distributed by Asmodee. I know it's a 2 to 5 player game.
That's right.
And we are trying to construct our dragon figures.
Yes.
Okay.
So the idea here is that we are trying to be the tribe that completes our tribute to the final dragon Ryu as quickly as possible. So it's a racing game. You have 5 components of your dragon. Each one looks a little bit different to reflect your tribe, but the mechanic remains the same. You're fundamentally spending resources in a similar manner, and if you can be the first player to complete the 5th component, section E, in sequence, A through E, then you win the game. And that is an automatic win. There's no first player, second player.
Right.
First one wins.
Okay. Now, this is the world that we're moving in, and we're represented by this figure.
Yep.
As we go through here.
So
what do we do?
The 9 tiles represent the 9 islands that remain after the flooding of our planet. And what you're going to see here are 5 homelands representing the 5 tribes, and 4 tiles which are neutral. They may be Merchants Guild, a Smugglers Guild, the Governor's Island, and those different tiles have different abilities that you can use to try to either gather up resources or to try to manipulate how other people are playing on the table.
Okay.
What's going to happen is on a turn, you are going to choose to either take an action and move, or move and take an action. You can move 0 to 2 spaces in either direction. And the actions are either exploring another player's home island, so it's not yours. You can't explore your backyard.
You already know where you...
Exactly. We know the stuff.
Yeah.
If you go and explore another player's island, you're going to pay a cost, you're going to get a couple of things, you're going to flip over the tile to indicate that it can no longer be used right now, at which point you're going to take this lovely little coin that's provided, you're going to flip it, and you're going to split those resources that you draw randomly from the bag with the owner of the island. So what's interesting as a resource management game is that wherever you go, you have to decide who you're going to give some resources to in addition to yourself.
And the nature of the split depends on what side comes up.
Exactly. So if it's a 4, as the active player exploring, I'm going to take 1, the owner of the island will take 2, and I will take the final one.
Okay.
If it were 5, what's going to happen is the inactive player will split that into 2 piles, 3 and 2 or 4 and 1. Their choice, at which point I'll let you do that. Perfect. And now the active player, me, will choose one of the 2 piles, and the inactive gets the rest. Any cubes you take throughout the game are revealed so everyone knows, but they are hidden behind your screen here.
Okay.
So at any time, if you would rather take an action on one of the neutral locations, they each have 2 different spots that you can use.
Okay.
Some of them will incorporate these tokens here. Merchants and smugglers, they allow you to take certain actions. One of the most important ones involves the home islands. As I said a bit ago, the idea is that they X out, they can no longer be explored. Once you get to the 5th island and explore it, that closes that one off, but the other 4 reset.
Okay.
So that's how you manipulate the board. One of the actions may be to flip over a tile, perhaps yours, to entice people to come back to Casa Shea Purple Dragon.
That's right.
Or you can flip one down because you do not want people to check out the Orange Island. So there's exactly.
That's right.
So
I know that you're going here. Screw
I know
you,
that
pal.
you know that I know that you know. So, and that's what I like about the resource management component. There's a little bit of social manipulation that not every resource management has, and that's why I think it plays pretty uniquely.
Okay.
The end goal is, as I said earlier, to get your 5th dragon component. Another action you can take, instead of taking one of the tiles, is to say, I'm building, and whichever dragon tile is next in sequence, A through E, and you must build in sequence, you'll look at the chart.
So you can just
exactly. So it's either going to be a matter of buying, you can spend 3 of a kind, so either 3 orange or 3 blue or 3 purple to complete, or 1 of each of the 3 colors. And that cycles until the final section where you must have 1 of each of the 3 colors and 2 of the yellow. And the yellow tends to act more as the currency than as a resource in the game.
Okay. Now there's a bit more. I know there's issues with cubes running out of the bag.
Absolutely.
What's special in the bag here?
So as we go through the bag, there's a single cube The white cube, this is Ryu's tier, single tier from the final dragon. What happens when this comes out is we're going to have a bidding phase. So whatever action prompts this to come out of the bag will be completed as normal. Once that's done, each player is going to secretly choose a number of cubes from behind their screen. They're going to pull them out and then reveal. If someone has a clear majority, that player is going to complete the next phase of their dragon for free.
Okay.
If there is not a clear majority...
Well, not for free. They have to...
Well, they've got to pay... Everyone will pay whatever they bid.
Okay.
So they get that as their benefit.
Right.
Everyone else that has bid any cubes, they're going to discard those as well, but as compensation, they will choose an equal amount of tokens, either choosing from smugglers and or merchants.
Okay.
And again, those tokens generally allow for different actions to be taken at the neutral locations.
Right.
So it's not a complete waste, but you kind of want to know when to pull back and when to go all in for your dragon.
That's right. Okay.
It plays about 35 to 40 minutes as soon as you are familiar with it. This is my favorite of the show right now.
Okay, and with fewer players,
what's going to happen is if you play with less than 5, there are going to be a few tiles here that look very similar to the home islands.
Okay.
Instead, however, of a symbol being in the color background, there's no symbol. The art is completely the same. The actions are going to be similar. You're still going to flip it over. You're going to pay for it. But instead of flipping your coin, you're simply going to take 2 random cubes from the bag.
Okay.
So you're still exploring, but you're not splitting because there are no players affiliated with that tribe.
Okay, so small changes for that.
Small little changes, but the overall flow remains the same, and you will always have the 9 tiles available to play.
Okay.
And if for some reason you can't move around because you can't quite get to where you need to, if you don't want to take an action, you can sacrifice it and move up to 4 spaces rather than the typical move up to 2 spaces.
Okay, but do nothing else.
But do nothing
Just go
else.
for a walk.
You're hustling over.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much for the overview,
Thank
Colin.
you very much for having me.
It's good to see this. I know this has been in the works for many years. It's kind of like the biggest thing that Moonstar Games has done.
Yeah, they've had a lot of smaller titles, a lot of card-based games, and I think this one is one of my favorites on the show. It's getting a lot of play at the booth, and I'm really excited for people to try it out.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.